love to compete in anything. I've been an athlete my whole life. That was my core, just younger, which I played that in Guatemala, which worked great for me in some of those challenges because I was a fighter, and that hasn't changed. I'm still that person. But I think after having kids, you've got that mama bear, you know, mentality. So I think I'm even stronger and tougher, and dear God, going through labor. There isn't anything out there that I can't handle after having natural childbirth.
Danny was somebody that we had our fingers crossed when we called. She was one of the most enthusiastic. It's not about, I'm out here to show my kids. I'm out here to win again. I like the fact that she thinks that people underestimate her, and it's put a little chip on her shoulder.
I look at this season like the NCAA tournament. You've got the blue bloods, the players that are always in the tournament, right? And then you get the mid-majors. That's me. You know, once in a while we show up, but the mid-majors a lot of times can be the David that just slays Goliath.
Wendell is one of the favorite guys that have ever played the game.
All right, let's bring out Wendell's dad.
He's likable, he's very smart, and I think those are all gonna be big reasons that he's in early trouble. Everybody saw that he was able to sort of charm people without it ever seeming like he was in charge. He and Dom went all the way to the end with Laurel.
I played against like a top tier competitor and I edged him out at the end, Dom. If you just saw that a year ago, then your eyes might be on me, you know? Like, man, let's get this new guy out of here.
But if Wendell gets a strong alliance, man, he is tough to beat.
I think I could align with someone like a Tony, actually. I think Tony has his sights on a Boston Rob or a Tyson. I think Tony wants to get the big dogs out. I think I might be able to help him get rid of some of the big guys. I'm undefeated out here, you know? I intend on keeping that record. Season 40, 20th year, let's go.
Parvati is going to be a weapon in this game every single time she plays.
I think I come on hot, like a lightning bolt. I usually have a big target on my back.
Why do they always want to vote me out? I'm just a sweet, innocent little girl.
But somehow I'm able to create relationships so that they want to keep me in the game for at least long enough so that I can get a foothold and do my damage, really.
He said that I'm the most dangerous player out here, so I don't know, I guess they're right.
She's got a great charm, and she knows how to persuade, and now Parvati's a mom.
I'll use that, and I'll just be a little bit sad in the beginning. I'm missing my baby, it's really hard.
Parvati's whole key is, can I get 2 people to play with me? If I can get just a couple, she could go a long way.
I think there are a lot of people who could outlast here. What I would like to do is paint the target on their backs and then outwit them and get them out of here.
The thing that will make this season the best season of Survivor ever is me. They couldn't do this without me. They need me, they want me.
The great thing about having Tyson out here is he brings a levity that is so unique.
We got some young whippersnappers out here. I'm not as young and spry as I used to be. I can feel my age creeping in on me as the stench of death slowly surrounds my entire being.
He's telling you if he's with you or if he's coming for you. The question is solving the riddle. Is he saying he likes me, or is he saying he's about to kill me? And he's laughing the whole time.
I'm planning on befriending everybody and then stabbing them in the back. I'm not making sure they have a great experience. I want the awesome experience. I have 2 young daughters at home now. I have a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old. I want my daughter out here for the family visit. I want to have both my daughters in my arms on the stage while Jeff Probst is handing me $1 million check.
Nick is the one player on day 1 that I think might be feeling a little intimidated.
A little over a year ago, I was just a huge fan, and now I get the chance to play with these people. It's hard for me not to be the fan. I gotta remind myself, look, you're playing a game with these guys. You can't just like put them on a pedestal.
If he can survive the first vote or 2, he can get his footing. And then Nick is somebody to watch out for, because Nick gets overlooked and he plays that twang up a little bit, makes you think he's this boy from Kentucky that don't really know much. Meanwhile, he's a lawyer. He knows a lot.
Hopefully I can paint the target on someone else and say, can you really trust this person? They've played 4 times. You realize they've stabbed their friends in the back before. And maybe I have that in my favor. This is only my 2nd time back. I'm not friends with any of these people yet. Some of these people have known each other for 15 years and they're friends. I'm not really in that boat. I think I can betray anyone.
Winning Survivor 2 years ago has changed my life, my family's life. Before, it was 12-hour days, 5 days a week. I get to spend time with my kids now. I get to be a stay-at-home dad. I'm grateful for the family that I get to know all over again. That's probably the neatest thing ever.
Ben is clearly going to have a target. We watched Ben pull out a victory when everything was against him.
The toughest part this time is going to be breaking that stigma of the idol finds and the Ben bombs and really trying to focus on that relationship building.
So I think Ben's story is going to have to be convincing other people that he's an aw shucks kind of guy who by hook or by crook pulled one out and happy to be here.
This season will put the stake in the ground that I'm a 2-time winner and I could do it both ways with idols and alliances. And so that's my driving force, is to prove to everyone that I can do it again and that I am the champion of champions.
After winning Survivor, I got into a master's program for athletic training. I was still CrossFitting and coaching CrossFit. But while I was in my master's, I had this nasty concussion. And so I had to take like a year and a half off everything. And so for me, it's a huge deal being here because there was times in that 1 year span that I didn't know if I would ever be back.
Natalie, I think, is someone that, because her personality is so electric and dynamic and can be abrasive, that people sometimes miss her. But I'd put her in my top 10 winners. She knows how to manipulate. I think the biggest question for her is going to be, who will play with her?
I think that I'm adaptable, and so if they throw something at us, I'm all down for it. The one thing that I kind of want to see is Jeff says, this season, the winner will receive $2 million.
How about $2 million?
Fans have been waiting for this. Let's throw some more chips on the table.
I would say that I'm best remembered for crying. I still am dealing with the grief of losing my mom, but also I come into this game a lot more lighthearted. If my mom knew that I was coming back to play Survivor with Ethan, with Sandra, with Tony, she would be over the moon.
Adam is going to be a really interesting guy to watch. People might think he's in over his head, but then you talk to him and he's got a pretty interesting strategy.
I want people to feel like I'm just so excited to be out here that they can sort of manipulate me however they want. If I can align with some of the big dogs and some of my lower threat level friends can align with other big dogs, this war will start sooner than they want it to.
It wouldn't surprise me if Adam went a lot deeper than you might think at first glance.
Wrap your head around this. The first time I played this game, I was 25 years old. I'm 43 now. My hair's getting gray. It's been 18 and a half years. It's supposed to be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I made a career out of it.
I think Rob's chances of winning are higher than people think. There's some other old school players out here, and I do think there's something about the idolatry of Rob that maybe I'll hang in there for a little bit with you. And I think your game might be better with Rob early on than without him.
Not only has everybody here played the game, they've all won the game. So everybody knows what's going on. So if they're thinking 2 or 3 steps ahead, you got to be 4 or 5 steps ahead. Nobody's gotten more from Survivor than me. Everybody knows it. I met my wife on the show. I have 4 amazing daughters because of Survivor. There's no bigger winner. There's no bigger target. But I'll tell you this, it doesn't matter. I'll still figure out a way around it.
I'm probably the one who got the best experience out of anybody out there. Won the show and fell in love, and I'm happily married still 15 years later with 4 beautiful children. The game's completely evolved since I've been on it. I've never found a hidden immunity idol. What's that? My first time on the show, Elizabeth and I were the youngest 2 players. And now coming back, I think I'm one of the oldest, which is crazy.
I think Amber's in the same spot she was when she played in All-Stars. She could easily be overlooked. Amber came out here to close the deal again.
Fortunately and unfortunately, I have my husband out here. So our target is kind of doubled in size. However, if they're teaming up with me, they'll know no matter what, there's somebody else on their side because I have a true alliance, one that you can definitely trust.
If you overlook Amber and think, I don't know if she's that good, she will get you again. Michelle, I know, has something to prove. There's a question of how strong of a player is she, despite the fact that she won the game.
I think the first time there was so much controversy surrounding my win. That noise drowned out the success of my win for me. And this is an opportunity for me to come in and be like, you know what? I deserve that win, and I deserve this win even more. And most of these winners, they might have felt like their story was over. They closed the book, they said, I achieved everything that I wanted to achieve. I don't feel that way.
I like the fire in her eyes right now. I know people are wondering about me. Let's just see how it goes.
At the time, I was 24 years old. I had very limited life experience. I knew how to build relationships, and I leaned really heavily on that. And now I'm 29. I've learned a lot, grown a lot since then, and I'm excited to try some other tools in the toolbox. I feel that I have something that I need to prove.
I don't need to be carried, bro.
I was giddy when I got the call to come back because, you know, it's been 7 years. And so it's kind of like you get like the 7-year itch.
I think Denise is more excited about this season than she was the season that she won. And it seems to be just the place she's at in life. She started training harder.
After I came back the last time, I joined a CrossFit gym because I had lost so much muscle mass. So I did that for a few years. Now I just go to the gym, I swim. I want my body to work well. I'm 48 and I'd like to feel this way or better at 58 or 68.
And I like that in our 40th season, we have somebody older who's fit, switched on, determined to win, ready to fight.
Life has been put on hold. We're not out here for a vacation. We're out here to play. You better not come out here and just cakewalk it.
Ethan is somebody that I think the audience is really going to love seeing out here.
Almost 20 years ago, I played this game. When I was 35 years old, I was diagnosed with a rare form of blood cancer. I remember sitting in the hospital room watching heroes versus villains, praying, dreaming about a time where I'd be healthy enough to be able to come back and play Survivor again. Just like being here today is a miracle.
He's had a tremendously difficult time the last decade, and he's overcome a lot, and you can see it in him. He's out here to win and show himself, I still got it.
I'm so blessed that I'm alive today and healthy enough to come back and send a message to everyone that there is life after cancer, and I feel unstoppable, and I'm gonna like crush this experience.
I've got my work cut out for me. I definitely think I have one of the bigger targets on my back.
Sarah's in a tough spot because Sarah played the first time with honor. Cops are loyal.
Swear on your badge you won't turn your back on me. I swear on everything I love.
She came back the second time and said, all my cop buddies said, this time, play like a criminal. The winner of Survivor Game Changers.
Now people have seen two completely different Sarahs. Truthfully, I feel like I'm on probation right now because I was naughty last time. Everybody's going, she's unpredictable, we don't know what she's gonna do.
So Sarah has to find a new way to play. If she comes out playing the same game, I think she'll get blindsided early.
I'm just gonna have to say, listen, this is why I played that way in Game Changers. It's not gonna work out here. If I'm lying to you, don't vote for me at the end because they've seen me swear on everything. Now, if I sit in the end and I backstabbed you and played the best game, you're gonna vote for me.
Ready for it?
I'm ready to go.
Sophie's probably the most changed winner out here. She was really a young woman, very smart, played a scrappy game, got to the end, pulled out the victory. The Sophie that's here today is a powerful woman.
I can't play like my 21-year-old self. My 21-year-old self was really good at saying, sure, coach, what do you want to do? Anything you want to do, that sounds great. My 30-year-old self or 29-year-old self, I'm like, hell no.
And I am really curious because I don't know how she's going to play. With Rob, I kind of know. With Tyson, I know. With Sophie, you're scary because you already won and now you're different.
I'm a business consultant for healthcare companies. What it means is I'm constantly thrown into new situations and have to get really rapidly up to speed. I think it's the perfect analogy for what you have to do in Survivor. Every time there's a tribe swap, what's the problem? Who are the people? How do I solve it? So I think I've been very well prepared over the last couple of years.
This is the Super Bowl of Survivor. This is the Steel Cage Survivor Mania. Wow, I'm really playing this game.
Tony is going to be really interesting because Tony knows that he overplayed it the second time.
I'm trying to come into this game like I did the first time. I just handled everything situationally, and it worked out perfect for me. The second season, which I lost, I went into it fantasizing about what I should do, what I could do, what tricks up my sleeve I'm gonna come out with, and it was a disaster for me. So this time around, that was my only preparation, was not to prepare.
So now Tony's got to come in and say, it's a new Tony. Can I get to know you?
Season 40, it's huge. This is huge. I'm not gonna be looking for opportunities, I'm gonna create my own opportunities, just like I did the first time around. If I have to build spy shacks, I will do it. If I have to bluff with a bag of tricks, I'm gonna have to do it. I'm just hoping that I can get away with it. I'm king of the jungle.
A lot of my game is intuition. I think I'm good at reading a room, and so I did that, and I think I read it correctly on One World. I love people. I always have. Like, I just think people are so special. I think I'm special. I think you're special. And so I think that's what created the bonds that helped me win in the end after.
Kim has always been one of my favorite winners. People say, well, she didn't play against that good of players. What sense does that make? Kim just dominated. And she has that same intensity right now. And I could see Kim winning this game again, and it wouldn't surprise anybody.
7 years ago, I was 28. I was single. And yes, I had been through a divorce, and that had been a tough season for me. But having 3 babies in 3 years has significantly given me more confidence. I'm more comfortable. I think I'm more patient. If I have a strategy that I'm repeating, it's just to trust myself.
A couple of things that make it special for me this time around. One is I have kids, and my 2 girls finally saw me on Cook Islands for the first time. They're really excited about the idea that I would come back on, and the opportunity to go through this viewing experience together as a family is really appealing to me. The other thing too, when I played on Cook Islands, I felt like I had to represent my community, and I was very careful about what I said and what I did. This time around, it's like no holes barred. I can go full throttle, hold nothing back, and see how I do.
Ewell is an iconic player, and he dominated his season with strategy that we'd never seen. He would always gather the troops and say, it's A to B to C to D, 10 plus 8 is 18 minus 6 divided by... You don't know what he's talking about, but it worked every time. And you look at him, and he's still physically imposing. I can't wait to see him in challenges. I'm very excited Ewell's back.
The last time you see me, I handed the check over to Val. She was 9 months pregnant. We had 2 daughters at the time, and since then, we've had 2 more kids. We had 2 sons. I'm only here for one thing, and that's my family. I'm just trying to make a better life for them.
Jeremy is one of the most likable players ever. He's fun to be around, he's funny, he's complimentary, but he's also very, very good at this game. Jeremy could absolutely win again, and if he gets deep enough, players will go, man, despite how likable you are, we still let you get this deep. That's pretty good.
I'm looking at coming into a season with all winners as another all-star season, similar to my second chance, and I want to play similar. Keep threats around me, and I want to use voting blocks and just keep the game moving and fluid as much as possible. This is the biggest season ever. I thought my season was like unbelievable, second chance, and this is going to surpass that.
The winner of Survivor Pro Island. The winner of Survivor Heroes vs. Villains.
This is retirement for me. I would like to retire with that $3 million and live happily ever after. I will take out anyone that is in my way because that money's already spent.
Sandra said yes again after knowing she has a giant target. I didn't get the words out of the phone and she was, I'm in. Sandra, yes. You don't even know what, it doesn't matter.
I'm gonna vote out every single female here because there can only be one queen. I don't want there to ever be a debate or for there to be a better queen than myself. That cannot happen.
Sandra really does believe it's possible, and I think she's right.
You know you've made it when you have a totem. They don't have a totem, I have a totem. This is why we need to get rid of Sandra. And so that's why Sandra's saying, this is why I'm gonna get rid of each one of these players. This is gonna be a good season. Blood bath.